Good evening to my fellow 3-point debt collectors. If you're an Arsenal fan, you got 3 points. Sorry if your team hasn't. I've got Ryan in the building. This is a live stream and a bit of content I've been trying to do for a minute. So big up yourself, my guy, man. What are you saying? Best of time to do it, isn't it?
Listen. Big up yourself, man. Always a pleasure, innit? Get me, but yeah, man. The bad boy intro as well, man. Big up.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, never a better time. You know what? I missed that Man United game. But yo, just look.
You saw the result. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, you know. And when I see how that result went, because obviously the equalizer, I was like, you get me. So feeling a little bit better right now, you know. Obviously not 100% based on our performances, but when things around us are working and we're getting results, can't really complain too much, you know. Like,
well, let's start there. What do you mean by that?
No, just just in general. Obviously, like I do think our play sometimes, you know, it's a bit unsustainable. Like, you know, Fulham.
Give us all your thoughts, man. Because obviously I know how you feel about football, but it's the first time I've had you on the platform, man. Say your stuff, man. Say everything, man. Leave no stone unturned, my boy.
Yeah, big up. All right, cool, man. Sorry, man. I need to change the smoke alarm battery, but I don't.
Minor, man. We don't care about none of that, man. You're here. That's all that matters, man. This is my people. Don't care about that, bro.
All right, say nothing. All right, cool. So obviously against Fulham, big up Arteta for the lineup, though. I can't really fault man too tough. That was, you know, and see Odegaard aside, I was happy that Eze's in 10. You get me? I don't think Eze had the best game yesterday. I'll keep keeping it 100. You get me? Yeah, you know, but obviously man's got a lot to bring, you know. It's gonna happen. I know
he's a quality player.
Yeah, you can't fault that. Obviously with Gyökeres, I think the two chances he had, one of them was a good shot, very powerful. The other was like a cross in the box. He didn't have a good way to shoot it.
But on scraps.
Yeah. It's just the one with his left foot though. That was the only one that
was dead.
Like, yeah. Other than that though, you just said it. He's feeding on scraps, and like if man's not getting service, it's a big problem, you know. Because and I keep saying this to Arsenal fans, like because everyone's like, like he's got to adjust our play. No, we kind of knew, yes, in a way, but we knew what we were getting with man.
Facts.
You know, that's it. That's how I see it, and it's like, we know we needed to adjust. Obviously, we signed Gyökeres a little bit late in terms of preseason. Man's come a little bit overweight, you know, like coming like Nicholas Bentner when he went into Juve back in the day, you know. And to me, that's the thing. And I think we've kind of like brought that on ourselves. You know, Bilbao at home in preseason was nice to see. Even Kai Havertz score a bad boy goal. It's like, look,
make it work in tandem as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's it. And obviously, we're hearing he's coming back, and I like the idea of like, you know what? Let me feel a little bit of pressure on my place, which is the first time since back. I can't even tell you when, my bro. You get me? Like that. I was thinking to myself, player position. You know, like let them look. I love our team, but I do want them to feel a little bit of pressure. Like besides Gabby, Saliba, Timber as well, big up. Declan Rice, and obviously Gyökeres to a degree. Generally speaking, and so obviously Saka in it, and David Raya. No one else can really feel too much comfort. Like they know there's players that can take their position. Right. And that's the thing. I like that in a way. Even though I love our team, I do want them to feel a little bit on the edge in the sense that, you know what, I got to perform. And Gyökeres for me, I rate him so much, so much. I just think he's feeding on scraps. I love that terminology. He's feeding on scraps, and that's what I mean. Like obviously, when I say like. That's where I'm not feeling too happy because I feel like, you know, big up Fulham, but this season, no, so far. West Ham at home, the new manager bad to them. 2-0, yeah, I hear it, but we could have done a mad thing on them. That's what I'm saying. And obviously, City, Haaland's got 11 goals already. And I'm looking at it like that, and I'm like, I don't want things to come down to goal difference later. So I'm like,
forget that. I'm not on that.
No, I hear it.
I'm with you. We need more points. If it comes down to goal difference, we're in trouble still. One's got Isaac who's not firing, and as you said, one's got Haaland.
That's it. And big up Isaac as well. I feel for him as well. Obviously, he's got like Prem experience, and obviously the whole of Liverpool aren't gelling at the minute. I don't know what's going. I need to watch the highlights of that, but
yeah,
you know,
you do.
yeah, like looking at this, they got Jeremy Frimpong. Like with me, Trent was also bad defensively when it came to coming back, but going forward, they were doing a mad thing.
It gives you
They didn't have a striker properly. Big up Darwin Núñez, but you know, we were linked with him back in the day, but he weren't doing it for them, innit? So like obviously they're doing their thing now. Like a TK's there and them done there. You get me? So Frimpong obviously works. Florian Wirtz is like it's a conversation for them.
Came off the bench today. He's
you know
I don't know, man. Pressure.
I see. I don't want to chat too much. Leverkusen on a mad thing, you know. So we know what they're about. We got Hincapi, which you yet to really show us anything because you got
only played 6 minutes.
There you go. You know, I need to
mad.
Another conversations the injuries at this club. But anyway, like literally, yeah. When I look at that, I'm like, look, I still want to think about it. Like Liverpool might have their best to come. So for me, I'm loving the fact that we're winning games because it's so important. But I just don't want things to catch up to Mandem in the end. Like when we're like thinking, you know what, we kind of knew this was a bit of a problem with creativity and, you know, being clinical and like the final ball. And, you know, it's just that you got to take your chances when they come. But we're also failing to create enough chances. That's my thing.
What do you put that down to then? Like, is it the gaffer? Is it the players? Because I think it's been a problem of Arteta's. Like, if I just like paint a picture, like last season, pre-season, I'd probably say up until Newcastle, up until this point. But then I look at it, and I'm not a coach; it's above my pay grade. But we are creating some chances in recent games. I think based on the last 4 games up until this point, it's more the players not putting the ball in the back of the net. Don't get me wrong; we're not cutting teams open, and it's bare chances. But for you, what does it come down to? Like, why is that a thing then?
You know what? I like how you said it the last 4 games because I'm in agreement with that. Because before that, I was even more like, yo, what's going on kind of thing. But there's been a bit of creativity for even Gyökeres. A little bit. Obviously, it's not enough.
Yeah,
but I'm seeing more. And it's just like, and I don't like to be too hard because you're allowed to miss. Obviously, things happen. We've seen misses with the Invincibles and all of that. But
100.
I do, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not wrong. I do think it does come down to management a little bit. And the reason I say this, you tell me what you think about this as well. Obviously, from time before Odegaard got injured, before Eze was signed, I even say I wanted Eze to be signed as a number 10 when he was even before he linked to Tottenham and all of that. I said I wanted to be signed as a 10. He's wearing the 10, played a 10. Yeah. When we equalized against Man City, now that ball to Martinelli, both Eze and Martinelli, by the way, with their own individual brilliance. 2 things about that. Eze number 10, Martinelli up front and not on the wing. Yeah. Now that's what's in my head. Like, does Arteta learn from these kind of things? Because it's like Eze done. Look, he's like, look, I can do this, and Martinelli's like, look, I can finish. But I don't think he. I like to think I'm wrong with this, but I feel like Kai Havertz coming back is like Arteta likes Kai Havertz. That's what is in my head, my bro. And you know, like I said, I don't want it to cut. Look, I don't know how to put this, but barring last season, the last 2 seasons before this, I felt like it's been a bit of an ego thing in the transfer market, and it's like this is my team. And in 22-23, the Saliba thing, he got injured. 5 points we lost that league by. Now we didn't have any depth then on the back.
Facts.
Like, we have the best defense ever, bro. You know, at least 3, and I'm going to include Timber on that. Yeah, Timber, Gabby, and what do you call it, Saliba, like whatever. I love it. I love Miles Lewis-Skelly in left back. Calafiori this season has been doing really good as well, but the problem is obviously he likes to go forward a lot. And I do feel like
he's like a unicorn, man. He's in his own world. He's up front, right wing, left wing, everywhere, man. He's different.
And I rate that. The only problem with that is I feel later down the line. Yeah, look, like I said, I just think ahead, innit? It's not. I don't want to live too much in them. Obviously, I'm happy. You can see I'm laughing. I'm happy. But
it's a 38 game season, and we've got 30 games to go. So you're all right on that.
Yeah, so that's where I stand. And I feel so like when I said the 5 pointing, no depth, 23-24, we were like, listen, okay, I don't know how to put this. We lost the league by 1 point. Everyone wants to blame it on Villa at home. Bear in mind that first
numerous stuff, man.
It's obviously there's context, the build up thing, but this is how I see it. Villa at home, we failed to finish. Now, we were battering teams, but how I saw it, and tell me, you say what you think of my opinion of this, yeah? If we had the right striker, I felt like we might have won the league by even 10 points that season because we would have other games. That's how I'm including that. That's
there's a couple games. If we just had a forward, he's putting in the back of the net. We're doing this in May. You're right.
And I think we would have clearly won that. And it's just like we could have praised Arteta all over. Like, look, Arteta, you done what you needed to do.
He did
now
your
I
thing.
feel like I just feel, and I hate to say it because obviously, look, he's a player. He may not be a legend, but he's someone that played for our club. You know, he signed at a very crucial time when we lost Samir Nasri, Cesc Fabregas, who he had to replace technically in terms of like a marquee player, and then Andre Santos, and you're thinking Pierre Mertesacker.
PTSD, I'm not gonna lie.
PTSD. I use that word too still, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when I think of it like that, I'm like, look, this man came in, he scored a crucial goal against Man City, 11-12, got top 4. These are like back 4. So I'm thinking, like, before we lost Alex Song, he, like, that first season he played Arteta, I liked him. Obviously, after that, he had to adapt and all of that. So, like, obviously, I think like this man still wore the shirt for 5 years. He went and he learned the trade at Man City. Yeah, that's it. That's how I see it. Yeah. So I want the man to succeed. But if I'm being completely honest, at the time we got him, I wasn't too enthusiastic based on where we were, you know. But we had the forward, Aubameyang, and look, it's kind of
just didn't have everything else.
Yeah, it's literally a flip thing now. We had nothing else before. Had a forward. Now it's like we don't have the forward. Well, we took too soon and got Yokkers, but you know what I mean. Don't have the forward, but in the back we got everything going on. Yeah. So when I say it like that, I'm like, it's like a missing piece of the puzzle. And you know, big him up for like just over 2 years ago, the Declan Rice thing. That was a mad coup after
madness.
You know, mad thing. That you got to give man credit where it's due. Gabby Magalhaes as well. You got to give man credit because he built him. So I'm keeping it real. So I'm not a man to just, you know, dismiss what he's done, but I do feel like it comes down to a bit of managerial ego from him. And I want to be wrong, but I just feel like as soon as Havertz is back, he might say, you know what, that's my Don. You get me?
Is he wrong though? Like, assuming obviously I hope Kai is in the midfield. I'm just gonna say that out here. I understand some games we might have to box cleverly and we just keep it moving. But if your name's not Odegaard, Eze, Rice, Zubamendi, indirectly, you know, maybe a Miles Lewis-Skelly who hasn't played there, or Ranieri and Norgard and all them guys, I don't really want to see you in midfield. But I do think he goes up front. You know what? Owing to Gyökeres' struggles right now, if Havertz is fit today, and obviously you've got Marino. If Arteta did drop Gyökeres and put either Havertz or Marino through the middle, is that a wrong decision in your opinion, regardless of what you think of those two players and Gyökeres?
The short answer is no. I'm agreeing with you. I do think, you know what, you have to think about it. You say, look, on paper, he's not scored, 8 games? Some mad thing.
7-8 games, yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, when I think, because obviously if we're thinking Bilbao and then like right man scoring, so like when I deep it, I'm like, on paper he's not wrong, but when you look at the context of it, it's like all those games prior to last 4, you know, it's like he wasn't getting any service. Now he started to. He did look okay against Newcastle. I like to look at it like that, and I'm like, okay. Another thing to think about with Gyökeres is sometimes he said, because everyone knows how clinical he's been, the attention's taken off Saka a little bit, and it's like, okay, now he's got more freedom. So, you know, I think like that as well. So I'm like, okay, cool. Gyökeres, I don't even remember when Fernando Torres went to Chelsea, maddest coup, like at the time. And when you watch the Chelsea game, you could see that he was kind of influential elsewhere, even though he wasn't scoring.
They just weren't doing the Torres thing, scoring, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously they had Ancelotti then, and you know they had a decent manager, they had a very decent team because it was that season 6 months before that they won the league title. So I think of it like that. But, you know, for me, I think, again, this club was starved of a striker for 3.5 years, as in an out-and-out proper number 9. Just because Jesus wearing 9 doesn't mean he's 9. You know, we were starved of a striker. And I just feel like, look, we brought my man to score. So I want to see that. But what you're saying, so when like I said, there's always loads of context. But in short, you can't blame it managerially for like saying, you know what, my Don is back. He's fully fit now. Even though normally you'd bring a player on, come in as a sub because they've they've had time out and that, he might even start. And I can't be fully against it based on, you know, it was criminal. I know he's not left foot, but that shot was criminal, man. You got a lot of power in it, but again, I still think there's a good player there. You know, it's the same thing with Isak. Isak's prem proven, and it's not working out yet at Liverpool. But again, we all know what Isak's about. We wanted Isak. You know, and they play together.
That was the dream, yeah, essentially, yeah. That's the ideal forward for us in the Arteta system as well.
There you go. And it's just, when I deep it like that, I'm like, okay, cool. I will never write a player off. Never ever write a player off. Yeah, so you can't do that. Modern day fans, some of them haven't played football. They don't understand this context, everything. But yeah, the short answer is if he was to drop it would hurt a little bit, and I understand, and I hope it doesn't dent that man's confidence. But you have to say, look, guys, we're trying to do a big thing here. It hasn't worked. I'm sorry, you need a bit of pressure. Havertz is back. If Havertz is hungry for it, like that goal against Bilbao, which we never see from Havertz, if we see that, yo, sorry, man, I got to shut my mouth. I want to be wrong. I want Arteta to win this thing. Shut people like me. I'm not even the worst, Shut people up, because we want to see you succeed for everyone. We all got selfish reasons for it. Just succeed. We want you to do this thing. But yeah, in short, if he needs to be dropped, he's got to be dropped. What do you think?
I'm with, do you know what? Like,
Yeah.
I want it to work for Gyökeres. I know it's relevant, but irrelevant in a sense that he done everything to sign for this club, innit? Like, he went to war with Sporting. We all saw his goal record. I want it to work. I want it, like you said, I want it to work for selfish reasons, because obviously if he's scoring goals, we're laughing. We finally got that striker. I feel it's a weird one with Gyökeres, because I feel it's dumb, but it's like the goals he was scoring, and like it felt like even before he was linked with Arsenal, every day you go and watch European highlights or Champions League, Gyökeres is bagging, he's bagging, he's bagging. It's abnormal. I think when you've got that record and you're obviously coming to Arsenal where you're not going to score that many goals as well as in the Prem, that's not helping you. Obviously, we're excited, isn't it? Like you said earlier, we're crying for a forward. I do think there was a bit of teething issues. Obviously, Gyökeres has to get up to speed with what we want. Obviously, I think Arteta, because I said this before, like on a previous video, if you could have given me Isaac, Gyökeres, which we've got, Benjamin Sesko, etc. I only think recruitment's half the job. I didn't see enough in an attacking sense to say you put X, Y, Z, and we're playing free-flowing football. And I do think early in the season, those kind of luxuries were afforded to Gyökeres, and he is marked out of games and things. And like we've been saying, I feel in the last 4 games, you're still not getting bare chances and clear-cut chances, which is what we need to do. But I do think your decision making isn't the best. I do think when you've had some opportunities, you're taking 2 touches or you're taking one where you don't need to. Of course, you're adapting to the league. Like you said, he might not be fully fit. He might actually be a bit knackered because he's playing a lot of football. I've got all the faith in him. My only thing is, like, obviously it's an adaptation, 6 months, you might even say a year. We need you obviously to score and do your thing week in, week out. But it's like, if this doesn't work, what do we do now? You mentioned Darwin Núñez, which for me I think is very interesting, because obviously when they signed Darwin Núñez, he, maybe not to Gyökeres' degree, but he was scoring goals for fun. They thought he was the guy. It didn't quite work out. They found a use for him and obviously signed an upgrade. So I wonder if that's going to be the thing, because I can't lie, bro, Isaac's one thing. But I do look at Hugo Ekitike at Liverpool, and it's not that I don't want Gyökeres. I think, oh, you know what? That's an Arsenal striker. Maybe we should have grabbed him, type of thing. And I've got all the faith in Gyökeres, because for me, there is a flip side, where up until this point, you're scoring in every game. But in the 90 minutes, you're not really doing anything. The one luxury I'll give Gyökeres that gives me faith is you don't look like an outsider. Like every week that I've seen you, you look more and more like you're part of this team. You're dropping deep. You're giving as good as you get. And you're doing your thing. So when you're doing the right things, I think the goals will come. I would like him to be, because you know how you see him drop deep, he's involved in the sweeping moves. I kind of want him on the end, because I think he tries to run in behind a lot and we don't necessarily find him. I would like him as well, bro, to look at like Diego Costa or Alan Shearer, because I think for a big guy, he's not a pussy, but I think he's a bit too nice. Like, I think you're a bit too nice. I think in the Prem, you've got to be a bit more horrible. And I do give him a luxury in that. Let's be honest, man, of the front three, if me and you could be a striker and a winger, you probably want to be a winger, because they're the ones in our team that are getting 1v1 against defenders, that are getting to run off the ball. A striker's like a sacrificial lamb, innit? Like, you got to lead the press, you got to drop deep. Saka is getting a lot of 1v1s now, but it's Gyökeres that's getting doubled and triple teamed against and things like that. So I've got all the faith in Gyökeres. And you know what? If 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games you start to get into full flow, as cliche as it is, it's like a new signing. And as much as I like the fact that we're top and players are doing well, I think the manager's got gears to go up. I think the players have got gears to go up. I think defensively and offensively we got gears to go up. So I think genuinely, I think the sky's the limit. And like you said, but we got depth. Like we forget players are here. If everybody's fit, I couldn't tell you, bar the obvious names, who's going to be in the starting 11, let alone on the bench. So there's some interesting ones. But though, I'm not going to lie, and that's why I think that was a good question, is because Saka's still the only one right now that I believe in if it comes to scoring goals. And like, you're going to get double figures in May. I hope it works for Gyökeres, but there's issues there. I actually think Eze and Madueke have been breaths of fresh air. But if there's one criticism for Eze, I actually think he needs to score, but you get where I'm going. In fact, let's circle back on Eze. Like, what have you made of Eze's time? Because I think he's been good, but I think there's gears to go up. And I think if there's one criticism, I think he needs to score goals. Like I think you're getting maybe not necessarily yesterday against Fulham, but you're not finishing your dinner. West Ham for sure. Fair enough. Pope against Newcastle are the blinder, but I need a bit more from Eze. I actually feel in the Fulham game, bro, that Eze. Not that I want scapegoatism, but for us fans that can sit and have a balanced discussion, I feel the Gyökeres thing is taking a lot of focus off Eze, especially with no Odegaard.
No, I completely agree, man. Like it's true. Like Gyökeres is the natural scapegoat from the fan base because
Exactly.
it's like we're waiting for a striker for so long, and this is what it is. We're not scoring. So obviously, everyone, including pundits, and everyone's going to chat about Arsenal. They got a striker finally. He's not doing his thing. Eze, I do think he's been hard done by initially. Because, like I said, I wanted him always as a number 10, or at least like a left-sided midfielder. Depends. Obviously, our systems is different to Palace's, but I don't like the left winger as if you remember, Arteta was screaming at man. And it's just like, bro, you're screaming at man, but you're one putting him there. So, like, again, this is another criticism managerially. Like, so I don't think he's been bad, but I think generally, minus yesterday, sorry, I think generally speaking, when he's been bad, the team's been bad, not like focused on him. Yeah, so like I look at it as I do think he has to adjust to this team, but you're not wrong. He has to shoot. He has to shoot more, and also that West Ham miss. Like I was actually at the top.
So you
I was like, I actually said, you know what? When how you get the signals bad, didn't it? So I'm like, I need to see that again because I could have sworn that was that high kind of thing. I checked it on TV. I was like, well, actually looks worse on TV than it did like coming up to man. At the top stand, like that. So like when I deep it like that, like I said, like it's a criticism constructively because I rate Eze so much. I wanted Eze, so I can't even chat that. And I do think, remember when Palace started the season, he scored a free kick. Now that's another thing. Obviously, he's not going to get that as much because obviously you got Rice and you got Saka if it's been taken on that other side. So you got to think of it like that. So we're going to probably miss that a little bit more unless he's still in the.
But he's got the stardust, man.
Yeah, no, he's got you're not wrong. I want to see some more Cazorla-esque kind of shots.
Exactly.
Like, I need to see that because we've seen it at Palace. This is what we want, but again, we are a bit limited because it's almost like we're back in the day, Arsenal trying to pass the ball in the net sometimes. So when we're playing that kind of football, I think that limits him. So I think it's a bit shared criticism. I think tactically it doesn't suit him, but also like when he's had the chances. And also, like, if you want to include yesterday, Gyökeres has had to deal with the lack of service. And, when we've got the guy that's got, I would actually argue his service is better than Odegaard's in terms of for the striker. All round play.
Eze sees it and does it, man. That's one thing I have a criticism of Odegaard. Eze's more likely to see it, bang. Odegaard, not really. I love Odegaard, though, but yeah.
Yeah, we love Odegaard. Mr. Arsenal's been here he's been here through the trenches days, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we love Odegaard. Yeah, he's there, and he was like he was part of this build-up from when we were like really bad. People forget.
Like what you said with Gabriel.
Yeah, he was part of after the FA Cup we signed him, and then that was our last trophy. So he's never won a trophy at Arsenal, and he's been part of this whole build-up. So, Mr. Arsenal, look, I do like Odegaard. There's obviously limitations, but I'd prefer Eze there based on exactly what I thought. And when you see that ball to Martinelli against Matt, and it was the right team as well, so we can't ever chat. It's like this is what he can do, and it's like this is Palace. Like it's like this is what we're seeing.
He balled out Newcastle away. Yeah, he did. He had a great game.
That's it. You was assisting Mateta back then, and it's just like you're not saying he's bad. He's been scoring, but I'm just trying to say in comparison, you've come to a team now that we've signed a top striker. We signed a striker that. Again, minus a few games or a few chances because he's not had a lot. This guy is meant to be clinical in front of goals, so we need to prove that we're giving him the service. So yeah, that is the criticism initially. So I'd say maybe 2 games max. He's probably had the 10. I don't want to talk about Port Vale because it's obviously a lower end team. He scored in that game as well. But I'm just saying in general, yeah, that would be my criticism. Shared responsibility. I don't think tactically and obviously being shoved to the left hasn't helped him. But obviously when he's played in that position and he's had the chance to do things, obviously, like West Ham is that. But I think there's just like Gyökeres, I think there's loads to come from Eze. We've seen it. We wanted him, and I think as well with Eze, the difference of him compared to everyone else, obviously being an Arsenal fan and coming through these ranks, I do think he really
it means a tiny bit more.
It's like one of us on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. You know, we're gonna want to score because it's deep for us, isn't it? And that's how I see it. So yeah, that's my criticism of it. I just think, yeah, he's got to finish his chances when he gets them, but manager also has to, you know, tactically help him out. The good thing is, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to see him on the left. I don't think that's his game, man. Obviously, with the problem with us is we're crying out for left winger. I don't know if you want to touch on this later or
no, touching it because I said this. I said big up Berta, 8 players, but I think we've missed the trick there. I think there's bare man that can play there. I think we might have to box cleverly, and Eze might have to do a thing for us there. But there's nobody that you hang your hat on out wide on the left hand side, if it makes sense.
No one in Arsenal anyway. Like I think Semenyo was someone we could have probably got proven. I was also thinking it's kind of an outdoor considering Calafiori kind of drifts everywhere. And we have got Skelly. That might be an option. I'm not saying a long-term option, but we could obviously shoehorn in there because he's going to end up there anyway. He ends up on the right wing sometimes, Calafiori on a mad thing. So I'm just saying if we were in a position where we were really struggling for left wingers because obviously Odegaard's out and Eze has to play 10 now, that is an option. I do think I don't really. That's one thing I'm a bit puzzled about. Like, I think maybe because they had Martinelli and they gave Trossard a new contract, they were thinking we're a bit like congested in this financially.
There were the Rodrigo links, but I don't know how feasible really that was.
I wanted him on at least on a loan because at the very least he might have thought, you know what, let me prove myself for Real Madrid. You know, like how Dani Ceballos did, obviously not the same caliber of player, but he would like, I don't know how he actually stayed in the Real Madrid team. That's another conversation. But yeah,
man. I don't think he ever really wanted to go, man. And to be fair, the left market looks dead. Like people would say Rodrigo, Leao, Fofana. There might be 1 or 2 names, but I do think I'm happy you said that because that is something like someone called Jay's in the chat. I always say, as much as I like bringing in 8 players, I think it should have been 9. I think we needed that left winger, but I don't know, man. I don't know if we'll sign one in January. Before I forget though, because we're on the topic of it, what have you made of Madueke and Zubimendi since we're kind of talking about new signings?
Madueke, it's sad because obviously the injuries kind of got people to forget about him. I'm going to say this. Chelsea fans said the same thing, but I'm going to, from my point of view, see him in an Arsenal shirt. So far, he's been one of our brightest sparks. I can't take that away. The only thing I'd say is end product sometimes. So at least he's getting the ball in the box. Maybe his shots.
We need some goals, man.
Yeah, we need some goals like this. That would be my criticism. I think there's a very good player in there. He may not be the type of player that Chelsea normally would ordinarily go for, as in when they're high, when they got him at the time. I was a bit surprised we bought him because obviously we had the English tax as well.
You were surprised? Arteta loves that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I meant just. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Based on everything at the time as well, we were dying for. People forget we wanted a striker, and we were signing Madueke, so everyone was upset. Based on that, the links of Sesko and Gyökeres dying off.
Yeah, so Gyökeres weren't even through the door.
That's it. And it's just like, why are you prioritizing him when we got Saka? And that's what I was thinking, which was why people were saying that. I never signed no petition, by the way. I'm not that guy.
Yeah, neither did I. It's doing a bit too much for me personally.
This is, do you know when I see this as well? I'm like, you could dent a man's confidence as well. It's like, it's mad.
And you've signed him anyways, because no matter what you think a petition, whether we agree with it or not, Arsenal, Chelsea, these are, I hate to refer to football clubs as businesses, but broski, they are businesses. They're making a multi-million-pound transaction. They're not doing this at a whim. Like, for me, I don't know about anyone else, but I looked at it as, I even said, I think I don't really want Madueke purely because I wanted kind of right now players. I didn't want any more projects. Obviously, we're buying people from Chelsea, but I didn't think he's as bad as fans were kind of making out. If that makes sense to you. Yeah. But it was a thing where if a man's gonna sign for us, you might as well back him. By God's, by all means. And if you play well, you get praise. If you play shit, we're on to you. But it's not helping you doing the petition and all of those things, which is why I like. And you go to the games where like the fans are giving him support. He looks a lot more confident. Yeah. And prior to his injury, he was one of our brightest players. And the worst thing I could say about Madueke is 2 things. A bit like Eze, I think the only thing I need from you is goals. And then secondly, bro, you've got injured in it, which ain't your fault. It's part and parcel, but it's kind of started. And it's annoying when Madueke got injured because Saka was about to come back. I think there were 2 good options to kind of box with this season. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and he could have also played on the left.
Exactly.
So we lost that as well. So no, I completely agree with you, bro. I can't knock that analysis as well. Like I also think that he was hungry for it because obviously it didn't really work out at Chelsea. obviously he got flung about, but he started Spurs, in it, then went to PSV, had to prove himself in the Prem. Chelsea fans were onto him as well. Similarly for like the end product.
Exactly.
But that work rate is insane, though. His work rate is insane. And obviously, do you know what? And I hate saying this, Saka's always going to be missed. But when it's similar to Christian Mosquera, obviously, jumping topics a bit. It's like, yeah, it's just like, you know what? We would ordinarily panic over that. But Madueke will never, obviously, he's not going to do what Saka does. But it was like, look, this is not bad. Like, this is cool. It's not our worst problem. He's done decent.
You don't take us up a level, but we don't drop too much. This is why we needed a squad and depth, innit? You're right about Mosquera and Madueke.
Yeah.
There might be some other examples I'm skipping out as well.
No, that's how good it is this time. Before we used to talk feed on scraps for the whole thing. Do you know what? That's why I was upset 23-24. Because obviously losing my 2 points, context of it all. If we had squad depth, you can't run. I don't know. You tell me. I feel like they're playing FIFA, like mentally, because you can't run for a whole season. It's like, okay, I got my first 11. It's like,
not how the real world works, man.
Yeah, like goalkeeper, fine. Defenders to a degree, fine. Saliba did the thing before, but Invincibles, like you had certain players did it. But I'm sorry, like there's this thing called substitutions, which sometimes come late as well. But it's just like we didn't have anyone to call on as well. And when I properly deep it, it's like that was probably our best chance to win it. You know, after signing Declan Rice, and it's like, look, guys, it's like even if it was your, and again, this is not a disrespect to Madueke, but even if it was your lower level backups like that, and you know below. At least we had something, but before it's like, you know, we're sending players out on loan and we're not even replacing them. And I don't understand.
We had a bunch of kids on the bench for a lot of games. Like even Real Madrid, there was a bunch of kids as well. So yeah, we need that.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Even like, you know, the only time I could justify that, and this is why I was upset we didn't batter Olympiacos when we had the chance. Max Dowman could have done the whole thing at 15, you know, and it's just like that's my criticism this season. So before it was squad depth, big up the squad depth minus the left wing. You've done your thing, but I personally think Berta done it. Obviously, Arteta.
Yeah, big up Berta. That's the signing of the season. As silly as it sounds, Berta. Thank you, Edu could never.
I'm so yeah. Edu can never, but also I feel like Arteta has been. I don't know. Look, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I feel like the complacency for several seasons on a striker was very concerning. And it's like Berta just said on a mad thing, nope.
I'm in time for this year.
He's like, I'm not a manager, but my man's doing a thing. My man, I've sent scouts for my man. My man can do this. I'm going to drop this to you. And you know what? I'm actually glad you mentioned Sesko, because Sesko, I could see, obviously, he offers something else, but where this club's been starved for so long of a out-and-out goal scorer, we wanted someone that's just ready. Yeah, which is something we've lacked a lot of for many years, even under Wenger. We were building 100%. These. Yeah, so when I deep it, I'm like, besides, I can only think of like Alexis Sanchez, Aubameyang. Zola to a degree, but obviously we got lucky that Real Madrid didn't get him. They signed Modric, yeah. When I deep it like that, I'm like, besides these kind of players, we never actually signed someone that was just bang doing the thing. Like we built the thing, and when I see it like that, I'm like, I respect it on paper how we got Gyökeres. What I don't respect as much is that we've not said, you know what, this is how my man's doing things. Let's adjust to my man, you know, and that's where I stand, and I do think that's our biggest downfall this season. Just adjusting to look. We've had a lot of players coming in. Oh, sorry, you asked me about Zubimendi as well. Yeah, Zubimendi. You know what? We can't credit Bert too much on that. We were linked.
I think he must have, man.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. From time we were linked to him, so I'll big it up. But maybe Bert got after that. We don't know everything.
Either way, he plays for us now, man.
Yeah, I think maybe Man United Liverpool games was the only games I could think that. But, you know, again, it's what I said about Eze. Generally speaking, if anyone's been bad, it's been the whole team being bad kind of thing. And I do think Zubimendi's been, he's been, do you know what? He actually offers defensively, he's a bit more better than Partey. And you know what?
Trying to tell people this.
Yeah, you know what? And I hate to say it, Partey was actually really good for us, like when he was fit. Zubi don't get injured. Now, he could also shoot. We've seen that now.
Yeah.
We've seen it. So I can't knock, like it's I would say it's like for like plus more, if you like.
His footballing IQ, in my opinion, is a lot better than Partey.
Yeah,
definitely a part of 2024, 25 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not 2020 anymore.
That's it, bro. And Liverpool wanted him as well. Real Madrid wanted him. So I look at it like that, and I'm like, I'm happy with the signing, and I feel like, you know, Partey, aside from everything, he got on with age as well. So it's like, look, we got someone good. I like that. Exactly. I'm impressed with him. You know, I guess the only criticism, if there was any, And again, I think this lies with nearly every defensive midfielder. But obviously, when it gets behind him, maybe just going back for it a bit. But do you know what? I think I'm scraping on things, if just trying to be a bit
No, man, that's our
balanced.
job. We got to. We're
Yeah,
fans, isn't it? And you know
yeah.
what? Like you mentioned, with all the depth and things like that, and you made a point, and it just made me think. Like again, we can't go back in time, but you see the summer we had this year. Obviously, everything happens for a reason. But if we had the summer and the depth we had this year, had we have done that 12 months, like 12 months ago, and how last season played out, I don't know what could have been happening, but that's what I mean. I think for Arsenal now, obviously, big up for the past. I don't know how the future works out, but I think we need to seize the present because we've been good in the last 3 years, 4 including now so far, but there's nothing in history. Like we've got some of the best players and collective bunch of players during the Emirates era, but there's nothing that puts them down in history. Like respectfully to someone like Saliba or Gabriel, Rob Holding is higher in Arsenal folklore because man can remember FA Cup stood up against Diego Costa, and I don't think that's on. So I've got all the faith that we do something. Do you think, with the players we've got and what we've added, does it put pressure on Arteta? Because you can look around and say, boy, Cronkies, they've spent the bag. Berta has done his job. We were crying for competencies. Arteta, we believe in you. You've been second. You've got all the tools now. The tradesman's got to do his job. Where are you at with that?
You know what? Yeah, I do. I sit back and I say, you know what? And I hope they're looking at this, obviously, from again selfish reasons. I just want this club back to winning ways. So I think when I look at the overall thing, I'm like, they're looking and saying, you know what, Arteta, you've done your thing for years. Now I'm gonna take it back so I could answer this question a bit more to Unai Emery.
Go ahead, man.
No, yeah. So like this is the context of it again. Unai Emery is actually a very good manager. And the thing with Unai Emery, he wasn't like, don't get me wrong, when that Frankfurt game happened, yeah, I think we were going games back then.
Yeah, that
well.
right was on the wall after that one.
Yo, listen, he had to go. I'm gonna put that. So this is the first thing I'm gonna say he had to go. But when I look at the context of it, we got him in 2018. Wenger just went, and Wenger had to go as well. But remember, he wasn't financially backed, bro. And he also wanted Zaha, not Pepe. Not to say Pepe was bad. I think Pepe was unjustly done by as well. But another conversation. But Stefan Lechsteiner from Juventus, who a slow Italian league didn't want him, bro. And we had to get a man in because we needed a right back. So when I deep it like that, it's just people forget. Imagine if Unai Emery won 3 Europa Leagues. Yeah. Now, if you look at that, if you gave that man money, who knows what could have happened? That's how I look at it. Now this is why this is going to answer the question better. Arteta has been backed. Yeah. Also, when we've needed a striker for so long, this is not a disrespect to any players, by the way. Fabio Vieira, Mikel Merino, which we didn't know would do a mad thing up front, but he bought these other players. He didn't think to himself, let's do a thing. Even Sociedad, we were linked to Isaac back then as well. I'm just saying, I'm just making a point.
That there. Yeah, you're right. Still.
See, when I deep it like that, I'm like, you know what? There's context to everything, like I said, but if you want to be more black and white, when I weren't backed, you were backed. Now, on top of you being backed all these years, we've also bought Andrea Burt, who's done a mad thing elsewhere. So far, everything is looking good. When Andrea Burt, minus the left wing thing, so far he's done a mad thing. Yeah, they have to sit there and say, you know what, Arteta's got the tools. Can he now do the thing with the tools? Can he make the tools function? And when I see it like that, I'm like, questions will have to be asked. Like
fair questions as well.
Bear and bro, I've got Bear already, obviously based on several seasons, but I want a man to prove me wrong. Now, like I said, I do think our creativity needs to improve. So that's where I stand, and our finishing needs to improve. And also, we need to include Gyökeres as a striker. Not naturally. Look, Haaland gets back and works. So I'm not saying these things don't happen, but that's not the service to the man. Remember Aubameyang, and as much as I love Aubameyang, he was a goal scorer, full stop. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, he ain't on nothing else.
Man could have been he could have been sitting with the crowd at times. But that wasn't a bad thing because he was that clinical. And when you think of it like that, it's like, okay, cool. I can't even complain. Man scoring nearly every game. Hands up. Yeah. In my eyes, he won Arteta that FA Cup as well. I really think that, he
was the bright spot. He was the bright spot, though.
Yeah. So I see it like that. So yeah, in short, big questions got to be asked. I think Arteta. I think I said this on AFTV Supporters Club as well. And people were getting on to me. Matt Papa Pincus was getting on to man about this, but I was just being real about it when I said it. I was like, look, what I think we need to win is one of the Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues, one of them.
That
If we
shuts
win,
everyone up.
that's what we need. But if we win a Carabao, which would be nice early because it finished February, or FA Cup, that's nice. But we're at a stage where these two these can complement it. You know, it's like this is a relationship with a girl. That's how I see it. Yeah.
I
If
like
she
where this is
don't,
going.
but that's how I see it. Yeah. If she ain't complimenting my life, I'm happy single. I don't need her. That's how I'm keeping it real.
Fair.
So that's how I see it, my bro. You get me? So Carabao thing, FA Cup, big up. You won something, bro. You big up. But we did not spend £1 billion to not win Premier League or Champions League. And Premier League, I'm going to say the Premier League's easier to win because I feel like we got this thing in a knockout competition is a knockout competition. We've seen Porto win it. We've seen certain things in the Champions League. Dortmund made the final 2013. Tottenham
City
made
even
the
winning
final.
it, really, considering where they started to where they are now. And
That's it. But I'm saying Spurs on the shoestring budget under Pochettino done very well. That was a very powerful team he built. He got to the final. He didn't win it, but you got to give credit where it's due. So I'm just seeing. I see it like that. I'm like, look, those are the two big things. Man's had enough paper now. Like it's enough. Like we're one of the biggest spenders in the world now. So no one can talk about Arsenal or this. Arsenal was shoestringing. Yeah, we did under Wenger. With Andre Santos, selling Fabregas.
We're spending 65 million on Kai Havertz. Like, respectfully to Kai, that's just financially we're out of that kind of stuff. And for me, everything you said, but I'll also add, I actually like you, Arteta. I think you're one of the best managers in the league. I think we don't get embarrassed in Europe. If I didn't think you could, I mean, you haven't got over the line, but if I didn't think you could do it, I wouldn't ask you for this. I'd say sack it now. I can't tell you why this year we didn't do it and that year we didn't, and etc. But I just feel at some point, we have to try something new if we don't go to where we need to go, because there's been new players, there's been new directors, there's been new everything. It's just common sense, really. In life, if you want to change something, you have to try something new. But then I want to flip another question to you. Like, do you think if Arsenal don't win anything, Arteta's getting sacked by the Cronkies?
That's a tough question. Again,
I don't think it's right. Because what if it's 99 points, Liverpool or City have won it with 100, and we've got to a semis in all the semis and we've lost? Like, does he still warrant the sack then? Or are you at the stage of, you know what, I hear that, Arteta, my heart bleeds for you, but bottom line, you never got over the line. You have to try something else.
Okay. The context of that, remember Klopp, 97 points. That was, do you know what?
Yeah, I'm mad.
Not a Liverpool fan,
Klopp
but
had there.
Bro, that's heartbreaking to look at even from that. I was like, rah, like Invincible's only got 90. We won the thing.
They weren't meant to be for Klopp, man.
Yeah, even Arteta did a mad thing with the points. You know what I'm saying? So, like, do you know what? Again, I do think context matters, because a 93rd minute goal can go in. And, luck can go on your side. Luck can go against you. My thing is, we have to sit down, even logically, even if he scrapes a trophy somehow in the 93rd minute, it's like, oh, now we've won the league. Yeah, look, I'll take that. I'm happy. But they might have to think,
everything, Chris.
That's it, man. But maybe they'll have to sit down. It's like Dominic Matteo won the Champions League in 2012 for Chelsea. They're like, look, we're going to give you a chance based on that. But if it's not working after this, you've got to go, because we don't think you deserve it, but we think you deserve it based on that. In fact, you won it, but we don't think you're the man. And that's one thing I respected about it. They just said, as in from a business point of view, you used the word very key, business. Like, we like to win, yeah, and you're not going to do that. We don't think you're going to do it. So, again, I do think context matters. At the moment, my problem with Arteta is I don't like to say I don't think he's learning. That's a bit weird one when people say that. It's just like, how much more do you need to learn when you? I do think he's a top manager. See, I'm actually saying it. I think he's learned a lot. I just think.
Are you a winning manager now? That's the conversation. And so far, you ain't done. Obviously, you won FA Cup and the Community Shields, but you ain't done that. And you need to go to that realm now, because they say it now. If you look at the language around our club now, at first when it came, so like, remember the first year we fought for the title, where, as you said, Saliba got injured. Arteta and the players were very diplomatic. They would say what you should say, like, oh, Arsenal should always win trophies, which they're not wrong, and we've got the ambition to win trophies. Every year it's got more and more bullish, to the point where this year you've seen Saliba, nothing to do with Arsenal, give him, I want to win trophies, so I'm recognized as one of the best. Arteta talking about winning trophies. Raya saying, it's not Prem or Champs, I want to win everything. That's the realm we're at. And my biggest fear for you, Arteta, is, because obviously, who wouldn't want it to work, Ryan? As you know yourself, you want everyone to do well, all the players to do well, manager to do well, all of that. But my thing is, I don't want you to be the man before the man. Now, if I can help it, and there's nothing wrong, you could leave with your head held high if you done that. Obviously, Wenger, I can't put into words what he done for my club, but in the Emirates era, you know, you built Haaland, you made sure the stadium was paid off, you indirectly got us to this stage where we can buy Declan Rice for 100 odd million, and for Arteta, Kai Havertz for 65, and etc. So Arteta, was you the man to steady the ship? Obviously, after Arteta, Emery didn't really work out. Wenger, sorry, Emery didn't really work out. Are you the man that kind of solidifies stuff, and then the next man comes in and says, "Oh, look at this squad. Let me grab a left winger. Oh, I don't like this one. Let me bring in Joe Bloggs, and then Bob's your uncle." I don't know, man.
That's a good way to look at it.
I'm not sure.
I like that, because obviously, look, for me, it got so toxic with Wenger. It got to the point where I felt like it, when I see a manager's tactics getting bad, like you got to bad it up a bit and say, look, bro, what you doing? Like, it got to that point. But yeah, he built a proper foundation, and you know, I think up to 2011, people started to properly question him. You know, after 8-2 at Man United, just like you're doing this thing, you're getting us top four. There's been some very near misses, because obviously you had to qualify back then for the Champions League in like a knockout game. I think we went to can't remember, what was it? It'll come back to me, but I think we actually Udinese, Udinese and you get these nerve-wracking games. You know, we had to play these, and I think
Eduardo saved us against Celtic a few years ago.
Yeah. I think we just both said that at the same time.
Yeah. I think he took a bit of a dive, but I never saw it. Big up Eduardo for that one.
This is what I was saying, and when I look at that, I'm like, yo, my man was scraping the bottom of the barrel. You know, literally that was crabs in the buckets time, like. And it's just like when I properly deep it, I'm like, big up yourself, because I feel like he was a fall guy. He has to take the blame. It got to the point where he was starting to say, you know what, we are what you call it. In 2017, this is when it hurt and it hit me, because we were used to top four at least. He said it won't be a problem to finish fifth, and it's just like that's it. It's just everyone was going mad, and I respected it from our fan base. At least they want standards, but people forget he did do a thing. Now with Arteta, do you know what? I've never seen a manager bang back so much and never won. Now you have to admit,
as harsh as it is, I agree.
Yeah, and it is very harsh. It's harsh and it's not harsh. It's just because when I see what he's done good. He's done bits. The problem is, I feel like he's got plan A but not a plan B, and I feel like, I don't know how to put this. You tell me how you feel. I feel it's more ego based than ability wise, which is really concerning for me, because if it's your ability, you're willing to learn, it's different. But I feel like sometimes he doesn't want to do things. He doesn't want to make changes. He wants to.
That's why I'm happy with the last 4 games, because and the jury's still out, because I still have what you said in the back of my mind. But the last 4 games, like, you're putting Eze where he needs to be. You're actually making changes in games when it needs to happen. You're starting the man that needs to start. I felt sorry for Arteta and Arsenal, like for West Ham, because a big conversation we've all been having this season. Oh, he's going to put Eze left wing for Odegaard, or Eze's not going to play, blah, blah, blah. Bang, West Ham, both of them are there. And unfortunately, obviously, Odegaard got injured. So I do think he's learning. The jury's still out, because I have said that this season. I feel, and I don't mean this to say Arsenal are the biggest and baddest and we can beat every team. But before I look at Liverpool or City or anyone in Europe, I just feel we defeat ourselves. I feel sometimes we're our best friends or worst enemies. Like last season, we didn't do what we needed to do in the market. When it rains, it pours, in it. We barely had any players to select. Now, nobody can kind of stop us. So that's where I'm looking at. And I agree in that. I think we're more likely to win than the Prem than the champs. I think there's too many kind of variables with the Champions League. Premier League, we've been kind of sniffing at it. It's like, just get over the line, Arteta, man. And I think one thing that would have saved you, Arteta, like, obviously you won the FA Cup, boom. If he was picking up a League Cup, an FA Cup, etc., it might have bought you some time. And then honestly, in my heart, I think, exclude this year, but the last 3 years, I think it's a crime. I think it's almost upsetting that Arteta and the boys, you ain't got no silverware, because during the Emirates era, we've never been this. I don't want to say we've never been this good, but we've quote unquote never been this good, and we've not seized the present. And that's what I'm so big on this season. Like, ideally the Prem or the champs. I don't really care what silverware in general, but it needs to say Arsenal 2026, blah blah blah. DVDs, you're in history, you're going down in folklore. That's where I need us to go now, man. But wish I had a crystal ball, man.
No, you smashed it with that. Did that bar in the last season? Now you tell me what you think about this. Yeah, second, but the third second last season is a bit of a catfish thing, because like Liverpool, and I hate saying this because everyone thinks I'm getting onto Liverpool, but it's the truth. I don't think they were that good that last season. Arne Slot's first season, like, respect for them for getting there, but I don't feel they had a proper challenger. Now that's where, again, So you flip it to the 2 seasons before when we were doing the mad thing with Saliba getting injured. Like the season before that still breaks our hearts. 2 points when it could have won it by 1 point if it beat Villa. And then the last season, that was the proper catfish because we shouldn't be finishing that far behind. Like if City were doing good, we would have finished lower. So when I look at it like that, I'm like, rah, that's criminal. We could have been them man there making a look because we were chatting to ourselves saying, City are too powerful, we can't do this, they fell off last season, bro.
And we didn't buy anyone in Jan.
Yeah,
That's why I said earlier, last last season, if we had the summer we did this year, I think you get over the line, innit? But you can't do that.
Yeah, and even with City's troubles, they at least bought Mamouche. At least they're trying to do a thing. It didn't work, but at least they can say, look, we tried to make it work. Pep's an experienced manager, and our managers learned from him. So it's like, look, he's doing a thing. Now, why did it's actually almost unforgivable. It is unforgivable. The last transfer windows in January, I'm still not over the 2015 one with only Peter Cech, So when I think of it and I see the TV phone, and then I'm like, look, guys, Arsenal fans, do you know what? I'll actually say we're one of the most loyalist, if there's not a word, but you know what I'm saying, the most loyalist fans in football. We're like our fan base in general talks too much. I can understand why people hate us, but we will back our club. Generally, we will back it. And when you're letting us down, because now these men have been chatting so much and we've not signed anybody in the window when it's like, yo, guys, if we even signed one player, like back in the day, like Lloyd Karemi for 8 million got a striker. Like I deep it like that. I think like, look, this man's on a cut price deal, bro. Man don't want to be there. And it's just like, why are you not doing it? There was Jan and Villa still in my head.
You know what? In my head, he's Arsenal. He's definitely played for us. Not just we linked for him. He definitely is an Arsenal player. He definitely played for us. That guy was always linked with us. He definitely had a locker in London Coley, man. He had a video, what a
Julian Draxler as well. Julian
Draxler, another one. Actually, he's always giving interviews about I could have signed for Arsenal. There's bare them kind of players.
Yo, hey, listen. So this is what I was saying. We're laughing, but it's from a place of hurt.
Yeah. We're over it now, kind of.
Yeah, we needed these players, and I just don't want to repeat. And what you said is exactly that, even closer than Wenger ever got to winning something. Arteta's been there, and I just feel like it's that little bit of. And I feel, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't feel like it's ability because people are talking about learning. I feel like he's experimenting with Jesus and Havertz. He's like, look, I need to make this work. I don't like the idea of that. I'm like, look, bro, I'm wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Like, I thought we were going to get annihilated by Real Madrid, bro. I'll put my hands up.
I thought we were going to get moved to. Fair enough. I'm happy. Big up Declan Rice and everybody involved, including the manager. Facts.
I will apologize. You get me? I will put my hands up, and I'll do whatever, pause, innit? But I'll do whatever I need to, to prove it. But this is what I want. Prove man wrong. Prove man wrong. And that's what I want from Arteta. I want him to say, you know what? It's not even because these, whatever, even if it's funny, these players know who we are if we're out there, I'm saying they listen to these things to a degree or they get sent it, I don't want him to think, I don't want to sit there and I don't want any of these players to think getting onto them like that. It's constructive criticism. I'm never abusive to players. It's very key. I want them to do well. That's it. It's just, if I'm, like I said, you probably even noticed it just here. I want a man to do well. This is constructive. It's like, bro, I know you're capable of more. Eze, you can do a mad thing. Gyökeres, I have so much faith in Gyökeres, And when I see it like that, I'm like, look, seeing this, you can do your thing. I feel like that's a confidence issue there. Obviously, away from service. And when you don't get service, that affects your confidence.
Yeah, strikers are weird like that.
Yeah,
it's in a good way. If he scores 2-3 games on the spin, he's on top of the world. And he will score, obviously, the Gyökeres goals on YouTube. But I promise you, if Gyökeres goes for a run of form, he'll score some dodgy goals. It will just smack him in the face for no reason and it comes in off his ear. That's just how it works for strikers. I promise that. I believe in that. I think we got something here, but we need to go to that next step. We need to go from being good to being great. We need to change for me, I always say, chase the illusion of perfection in it. You're never going to be perfect, but cool, we're great defensively. Can we get better? We know that we're not necessarily a great attacking team, even though statistics are one of the best. How do we get to that next level? Arteta, how do you go from being a good manager to a great? I don't think you'll ever be in the same regards as George Graham or Wenger, but in your own little way, how do you make a history? We're that close. We are closer to getting over the line than going back the other way. And that's what I mean. That's why I actually initially kicked this part off, because if Arteta left tomorrow or left today, not that I wanted to get to that because you'd have to write off the season, If you left today compared to when you walked in, we're in a much better place on and off the ground, even in ways that me and you won't see because we're not at London Coley. We don't see Win the Dog and all the other stuff in the stuff we read. But I don't want you to be the man before the man. But I'd look at it in that Ramsdale was the man before the man where Raya's concerned. Tomiyasu, it's a bit harsh, but even Benjamin White with Timber, you know, Pepe when other people came in, like there's that evolution. So we need to get over the line, man. But we're ticking off in the right direction, which leads me to ask you this finally. Yeah, obviously, in fact, first thing, when the season kicked off, who did you have as the favourites for the Prem? Before I ask you that,
you know what, I have to put my hands up and say, and I'm gonna be, you know, it's all on video on camera anyway, but I'd still say it because I like to be honest. I thought Liverpool, based on their signings, do you know what I respected it? Yeah, listen, it's true. Respectfully, like, look, Leverkusen did the mad thing, and it's like Liverpool were getting business done. Look, okay, look, we've lost Trent, cool. Jeremy Frimpong. And when I see that, I respect it. And when you look at it again with us, we weren't doing that. It came at the end of the window. Yeah, we weren't doing that. So Liverpool, for me, hands up first. I actually put us down as City are coming back, so we might be in the top 4 battle, but we'll make
same. I said third. If I'm honest, I said second, third for us.
There you go. Yeah, I said
as you said earlier, I want to be wrong.
Yeah, I say things, prove me wrong. I don't care about anything. I don't care about clout. I promise you. I don't
care what you feel.
What I think. Just say what I think. I'm very much like what's the word? Unfiltered, isn't it? You know, like that. So yeah,
you're pretty intelligent with the way you're articulating yourself, man. I wouldn't say you're like that, man. You can just tell you're a footballing man.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. But yeah, I've been following for a while, man. You know, look, I've seen the Invincibles. I saw the stuff before that. You know, when I see that, it was an interesting question I got asked as well when I was watching the Invincibles. Obviously, I was young, but I was a teenager. Everyone was asking me, when you went into a game, see, wherever you go stadium, you watch it on TV. I was broke. I didn't really go stadiums, but yeah, if you couldn't get a ticket hybrid back then, but like literally, they were asking me, did you expect to lose? I was like, generally speaking, no. I thought even at Old Trafford we could at least get a draw, but I always thought we'd generally win unless we had a bogey team at Bolton, you know, Perez dive at Portsmouth, all these things. So I was deep in like that. And someone got asked that recently, and I was like, that's a very interesting question because sometimes this season now we're a bit more nervy, but I think that's also a balance of the Prem. I think anyone could almost beat anyone. But
yeah, that's the dynamics now.
Yeah. But without drifting too much off, I thought Liverpool necessarily won't run away with it because I thought again City would be better. Yeah, I thought City would be better. I thought Liverpool, City, Arsenal would be thereabouts. My Chelsea prediction's kind of right. I thought they'd be in a low end top 4. See, Cole Palmer's going to be out, but yeah, I had Arsenal down as you know what, second might not happen again at least, and it might be worse just based on the fact we, you know, that Liverpool strengthened. So yeah, I'll be honest,
solidifying their thing,
and I actually respect that because obviously Arne Slot, look, we can't take away the fact he got a very powerful team and Salah from you know Klopp, can't ever take that away, but he done his thing, you know, and sometimes it shows you don't need a big manager. He was come from Feyenoord. I'm not saying he was bad, but he had experience. So sometimes it's not like I'll get this man and then it will just do a thing. No, because sometimes you could put a Simeone in another team because of his football, it will just collapse, it will capitulate. So like if you look at it like that, it's like, look, he done his thing. Is he getting exposed this season for, you know, the fact that, you know, you lost Trent, who was great attacking, not defensively. Trent wasn't. So people criticizing Jeremy Frimpong for it, but Trent wasn't great defensively either, but offensively. It's key because they didn't have a proper striker as well. And I respect the fact they still done their thing and they still said, you know what, but we still need a striker. I respected that eventually. So yeah, Liverpool, my runaway favourites, if you like. And City were thereabouts. I still wouldn't write them off. I still think if you were to ask me now, the black and white question, who are favourites? I'd say Arsenal. I'm being real. And that's you know, I'm saying that, Ryan is saying that, but obviously we're talking about, you know, the date right now and context of things. I just hope, again, like I said, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I hope Arteta has learned and said, you know what, yeah, no, that's it. I'm not gonna say man was doing things deliberately or trying to push Havertz. I'm gonna say it for now. I hope he's learned.
I'm sure there was a method to his madness, but like obviously, if it's working, great. If it's not working and you do it several times and it's not working, fans are within their rights to say like what's going on. That's how I kind of feel with stuff at this moment. Like I wish, obviously, only 11 players can play, and I think some fans can be hypocritical. It's like you want the same team to play and the consistency that brings and getting 3 points, but then you want everybody to have a game. You want the manager to be great defensively in some games and then attacking. You want everything. For me, I'm on this especially this season, 3 points first. That don't mean if we go on a run and the performances are spooky, I'm not going to make comments, because I used to make, that's what kind of started my YouTube career with Emre, because people were calling me crazy for saying, no, remember when we went on that unbeaten run, and I'm telling people, listen, we're in trouble, but it's looking mad because we are winning games. So I'll always look at the performance, but I do think it's a win now mode, and then everything. It's like me, Wanyeri, I want you to play. You're going to get games now as well. But when we're getting 3 points and other players are doing their jobs, I can't complain. It's a bit like Lewis Skelly. Calafiori ain't put a foot wrong. Hincapié and Miles Lewis Skelly, you might have to wait. So I want it all to work. But then, obviously there's literally 30 games to go in it, and it is October, and Arsenal have been written off at a part this season now by the supercomputer standards where they're favorites. But do you think it's Arsenal's to lose? I think people are discounting City because they're quietly going about their business. Liverpool have hit a bump in the road. It feels like we're about to go on a mad run. Maybe I'm a bit giddy. City, it feels like they're going to have bumps and bruises on the road, as are we, but it feels like sounds mad to actually say in comparison to City, but we could go on a more consistent run of wins than them. Like, is it Arsenal's to lose in that sense then?
Short answer is yes, I think so. So I'm happy you mentioned that. I do think, and I don't like this about our fan base sometimes, when they get carried away, they start writing off other teams, and it's like, these lot have the
start doing the most.
So like, a good way to put it is Haaland. Now, if Haaland gets injured, City can actually sit back. Look, and do you know what? A good way to put this is strikers do score goals, but people forget what happens at the back. Now, Kovacic came in for Rodri, and we saw what that did. So when I look at that, I'm like,
this year either.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm looking, I'm like, this is not good, as in from a footballing sense. I'm happy when City aren't doing well, of course, but I'm saying from a footballing sense, it's like, that's not good for you lot. Same way Cole Palmer's out for Chelsea, you see the difference. Now, if something happens to Haaland,
Salah dragged Liverpool last season to age your point as well.
That's it. See what I mean? It's just, if something happens to Haaland, I think City are in huge trouble. They've also almost become a team reliant on their striker since Rodri. Since that, it's just like, we need to do a thing. Obviously, Doku's a very bright spark, so I'm not taking anything away from the whole team. Or
no, but you're right. Haaland's the standout guy. Yeah. Like, he's scoring the goals. Really, he's that kind of guy. It used to be, it still is, but it used to kind of be us more with Bukayo. That's why I want that's why I think you're bang on, because that's why I want Gyökeres banging, Saka banging, because there is an element of this 30 games that are left. We're going to be shit in some of them, and we just need to grab these 3 points. A bit like Liverpool at the beginning. That's where these players come in, and we ain't got that at this moment in time.
No, that's it. You smashed it. It's like, literally, if we, like, this is, and again, this is why people generally call me negative, but I think, do you know what that is? Obviously, clips get done and in context again. But like, if we're playing constantly like this, like against West Ham and Fulham, I just give you two example, not putting a ball in our net. Now, West Ham are in such a position where they can't score. Fulham couldn't take the chances properly they had. They had some all right chances as in position.
I
was looking at like, the right man on the end of that would have been a ting, and we would have been on a mad ting, like chasing the game. Now, we also parked the bus on a mad ting after Leo scored. And again, that goal was, look, I don't care how it happens. It was a bit of a scrappy goal, but great from Gabby to head it to him, but Leo don't score. Leo could score mad tings. So, but after that, it's like straight away Marino on it. It's just like, when I look at it like that, I'm like, this ain't always going to work. Now, that's my thing. And then if it doesn't always work, I could appreciate, Look, I'm not someone, and people think this, I want the teams to be smashed 5-0 every. See, I want that, but I don't expect that realistically. But, I look at it like, look, we need to do this because this is going to catch up to us. Now, I think, Liverpool and City, I do think the best is to come from Liverpool, though. So that's my worry. I do think, look, it's not going to be
I want to be out of sight before the penny drops. Let's just do this now and go, man.
That's it. You said it. So if we're 12 points ahead and it's now March, it's still a bit shaky if they're doing their thing, but we've got a cushion. And that's the thing. We need a cushion. And it's just, that's, I feel like if we play like this, draws add up. Like, remember last season?
14 of those.
And I'm glad you mentioned this.
As soon as you said draws, I thought 14, yeah. And no one's going to forget that season. That's going to be in pub quizzes. Everyone's going to know last season how many draws we had, 100% 20 years from now.
And even, do you know what? I'm actually glad you mentioned this as well with the unbeaten under Emery. Chelsea had a similar unbeaten, but our unbeaten was a lot of draws as well. Like, and people forget this. After Bournemouth, I think we won 1-0. It went a bit mad. like after October 8th, 2019. Like, I remember because I was going games and these things hurt. But yeah, but that's how I see it. So I properly deep this. I'm like, yeah. So killing it off. That's the thing. Kill it off early.
And then we're
This is the
laughing.
problem. I'm not a manager by anything, and great respect to these people that are doing their thing. But if we don't do it properly, it'll catch up.
That's how I felt about Newcastle. Obviously, it weren't a draw, and again, I think we started the game well. We reacted to the setbacks well. So it's the same thing, but it's not really the same thing. It's like when I remove the flowers I'm giving the team and everything, it's like that first half. Then to go like what we're saying from a place of love and constructive criticism to go to the next level. Can you put them out of sight in that first half? Like, can you score 2, 3, 4? The illusion of perfection type of thing. So you're right, man. But the way I look at it is there's still a lot of football. We have to keep our feet on the ground. We can't get excited, but defense doing its thing is our bread and butter. Attack is still not there, but it's in a positive way. There's been some progress versus definitely how I felt at the start of the season or last season under Arteta. It's down to us to keep going. So it's kind of like the only ways up, really and truly. And I know we're not. I would love to. I know we're not going to win all 4 competitions and stuff, but this is the first year as an Arsenal fan, I've genuinely felt like you've actually got the depth to compete properly. And as you know, we've got Atletico to come, Crystal Palace. So next week is a big week anyways. Got the round of 16 against Brighton. That's not going to be easy. And so on and so forth, man. For me, I just think we need to get into January kind of feeling the same way we are about this as a football club. But you know yourself, Arsenal fans, very reactionary. You saw it during pre-season. We're the best thing since sliced bread now. Earlier in the season, it was all doom and gloom. And it's going to go up and down. This is why we love football, isn't it? My last question for you, Ryan, before I let you get out of here, man. Question to both of you. Do you think Arsenal will beat Chelsea's defensive record of 15 conceded? I'm just going to say no, but take it away, my boy.
Short answer is no. I don't think that was a madness. Madness. So what is we're 3 now, isn't it? So and 8 games played, yeah. Okay, so 8, 16, 24, 32, 38 games. So we'll just say so that's 5, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's not impossible based mathematically where we are. It could be equaled if you like.
And is that the best chance we could do it with the players we've got? But
in the
modern day, I'm not sure.
That's what that's what I'm going to say to you. Modern day. I don't think so. I'd like to think we could, but I don't know. Look, I want to see free flowing attacking football. At the same time, I want to win a title. I don't know if I want us to become a Simeone-esque team completely, because remember, even under Arteta, we played the best attacking football, you know, even without a striker. Look, I put my hands up. So when
that's why we say he's got the ability to play attacking football when he wants. At times he hasn't chose to. I think last season, that year you spoke about where Rob Holding came in for Saliba, I think a lot of fans feel that way. He kind of got scarred, and he kind of the season after that we were great defensively, and then I think he kind of went too much to that side. It's like Wenger. Wenger was just on attacking. He was kind of too much on defending.
Yeah, Wenger did not want to know about defending. You know?
We don't give a monkey about that.
I part of me loved that, but do you know what it was? We outscored, so I respected it. But also remember, football was different back in the mid 2000s. But the short answer is no. I don't think. Look, I'd like to think it's possible, but I don't think we will. And again, I don't want everyone to get carried away because we're on 3. There could be a game where we could concede more than 1. Because, like I said, the Fulhams of this world couldn't finish, but in another world that could have been 2-0. A Fulham win. That's how I see it. I just feel like if they scored, we would have been chasing the game. So, do I think? No, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so, man. We got the best defense, but no, I think it's a big ask.
It's too much of a big ask, right, man? It's like what, like even obviously the top 6. I've got confidence that we can beat these teams, but I can't tell you what we ain't played Chelsea once, so. That would be, for example, 2 clean sheets against Chelsea. You might have to keep Liverpool quiet at our place. Man United might nick a goal depending on what kind of moment they're in. City versus Haaland at their place, easier said than done. And then you've got the Crystal Palaces, the Bournemouths, the Evertons. These guys can back goals and make it difficult. And kind of what you said, everybody's kind of on it, really. So I'll just give me my prem, and then any sort of statistics you can have that. But it's testament to Arteta, the coaching staff, and the players that's at least a shout. I mean, weirder things have happened, but I can't see it, man. Nah.
Can't see it, man. Again, hope I'm wrong, but exactly what you said, I just can't. And I'll actually credit Arteta in this sense as well. I'll say I think it's more down to modern day football, man. I just don't
exactly.
It's a lot to ask. It's like you're not. Again, you won't really. It's very unlikely you'll get another Invincible like in the Premier League. And you'll get it in Premier
Even that,
League.
yeah, that as well.
Yeah, you get in Portugal, not the UK. No, you're not playing Rio Avenue every year. You know, you're playing.
Exactly. You're playing
You know,
serious teams and
it's,
multiple games as well.
bro. Like your Sunderland's away and stuff. I'm telling you, these. Do you know
Even
what?
them.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to echo this on what you just said about the top six. We actually are quite good against them now. Before it was the other way around. Now we can lose points to like minus yesterday. Fulham away was a mad team.
Our last 3 games are against teams where we're like, oh, you know what? These are what Newcastle, West Ham, Fulham. I might be missing someone, but it's like, oh, this is where it goes left. You could even throw Crystal Palace historically in the last recent years that we've got on Sunday into that as well.
Bournemouth away.
Bournemouth as well. Bournemouth away, a horrible place to go. Horrible for us. Horrible place. I'm not looking forward to that. I must admit.
I hate. It's a nice journey to drive there, but you know, like every time
they're just mad on it.
Yeah, but obviously when I went to Newcastle this year, like, you know, I didn't expect to win. So look, I'll give credit where it's due, but you know, we didn't know it's gonna happen till the end of the game, you know. So again, this is why I hope it doesn't catch up on us. Like the football's about moments, it happens, but
exactly.
I'd like to eradicate the frailties as far as practically possible. And I feel like I said, I'm gonna, for the sake of this, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Man's learned with Eze. And, you know, you assisted Martinelli. He started to play him. You know, who knows if Odegaard was fit, what would be happening? You know what? I'm sorry, I forgot to actually say this as well. I respected it when he played Odegaard and Eze together against West Ham. I think that was a perfect. You can't do that every game, but that was perfect that game. Unfortunate with what happened, but I like that. I'm like, yo, bro, I was listening to man, you know. See, not me specifically, fan bases.
But yeah, we're all sharing these sentiments, and it's like you're the pennies are finally dropping, and that's what we need to see. It's just like you said. It's like you actually couldn't make it up. Odegaard goes down again. It is what it is. Hopefully I don't know when it would come, but hopefully he tries that. For me, with Rice or Zubimendi, one of the two, don't really care. Eze and Wanyeri, but I don't know, man. Last one. I keep saying last question, but last question because I actually wanted to ask you this.
I got time for you. Don't watch that, man. It's been a while.
Appreciate that. I wanted to ask you. Obviously, there's only been 8 games, but with these 8 games, if the season was only 8 games, yeah. Who's your player of the season so far?
It's a sticky one still.
Tough, innit?
Yeah. The top players haven't been top, have they?
No. Oh, yeah, sorry. Arsenal related.
Okay, it's got you. That's a very good question because obviously
I've been asking everyone, man.
I'm just going. Do you know why? Do you know I'm struggling? And you probably know, obviously, Arsenal fan. Obviously, Mosquera had his run. Saka's had his run. It's a very hard question. Timber.
I was gonna say Timber is mine. I think it's either Timber or Calafiori. Still, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Man. But don't you think it's mad that it's the defenders still? We're not really saying that about the attackers yet.
Yeah, no, and I find that sad. I was hoping to say Yokeres, you know, because Saka was injured, but I'm glad you said that. It's Timber just came to me because obviously he's been most consistent. Ben White as well, by the way. It's not looking good,
dark, man. We're gonna need him as part of the squad. Then he put his body on the line for our club, but Timber's just better than you. Like, unfortunately, you've got a use here, but Timber he's up there in it. Like, it is what it is. It's like Raya. Ramsdale's just better. Well, so it's like Ramsdale. Sorry, Raya's just better than you. Like, it is what it is. I feel sorry for White, and I know us Arsenal fans. I do think some Arsenal fans, we've got to act like we've been here because we talk about depth here. Like, any player that's in the side and the one that isn't, it's like, oh my God, we got to sell them. They're not good enough no more. It's all over. Like, just calm down with White. But he does need to get fit, I guess, and then you're going to have to get your opportunities because you did look stinky against Olympiacos. Even when I discount that you're rusty, it felt like for the first time in a while, Arteta spent the whole game talking to one player and it was you. So it is what it is, man.
Scary, you know. Do you know what you said? He put his body on the line. Now, I do think that, again, that was probably with management as well. We came to recruitment. Yeah. Also, Tomiyasu, who's injured himself all the time. Big up Tomiyasu, good servant.
Loved him. He just couldn't stay fit. Made a glass.
When he's playing, my man, I was worried. Man's proper made a glass, you know. And you know, I want to play. I'm balanced in it. So, like, yes, the management has taken responsibility, but yeah, we did have him as well, and he was injured. So, how many players can you keep throwing in? You know, you can't keep it's not FIFA, and it's not Football Manager. So I hear it from that point of view. But we did struggle with depth. Man really did put his body in the line. I respect him for that. You know, you know what? People forget this as well. Well, some do. Timber, when we bought him, just got injured and that hurt. And it's just like, okay, look, White, you're just gonna have to do the mad thing. And he did do the mad thing. Yeah, and he
Much
just
painkillers
laughed.
he was probably off, and whiskey or something like.
Yeah,
Big
he
up White,
lost
man.
it. No, look, I big him up, man. Obviously, he's not a footballing man off the pitch, and I don't really care what man get up to off away.
As long as we can't question your commitment on it, which you
That's
can't,
it.
you can criticize White of anything, not his commitment to the cause.
That's it. There's certain things players have said in the past, like Aaron Ramsdale saying he couldn't concentrate for a match. That's not what we want to hear.
Couldn't concentrate. Zinchenko said something about defending. Gabriel Jesus said I struggled to score goals. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want. I know I might be taking your stuff out of context, but I don't want to hear that. Like it's not sounding what you need to sound like.
They got to keep that out of the media, man. At the very least, at least do that, because we're gonna melt down on it. Because sorry, man, you're on a lot. Look, you're on a lot of money. You're at the very least for those 90 minutes. We're seeing you. You need to perform, and we want to at least think you're trying to perform. So, like those. Other than that, I actually don't doubt Ben White's commitment on the pitch. I don't doubt it. I do feel that injury is always going to make you rusty, man. So the same way I will never run away and say this player is it because he scored 8 in 8. You got to look at the same way, because he scored 0 in 8 doesn't mean he's not it. So same way Ben White, look, we know what he can do, and he done the mad thing for a long time. Let's see what he has. Look, he needs full fitness.
I support him a bit, man. I'm not on this just dashing dons away kind of thing. I understand football's ruthless, and listen, there might be a reality where you sign a right back that's better than Timber, and Timber becomes the number 2, and you've got to do something with White. That's the nature of the business. But like you said, the man's been, quite frankly, he's put his body on the line. He's been through the wars. Just support him a little bit. Like, don't just dash him away already. And even if you're talking about dashing him away, it's October. We need the squad. All of these players are part of a toolbox to help us get over the line. I'm a bit different this year in that I don't really care about individuals' feelings as much as my heart bleeds for this one needs minutes, this young player, this contract. Arteta might be playing this guy out of position. I understand all of that. But for me, the collective, as long as we grab enough 3 points and all those things, everything else comes secondary. Like Fulham, for example, we got the 3 points. Then I'm on talking about performances and could Arteta have brought this one off the bench? As long as we grab those 3 points, because we're at that stage now, over the line business, man. And hopefully in May we can, man. Hey, Ryan, where can people find you if I let you get out of here, my boy? It's been a pleasure.
No, it's been a pleasure as well, man. Good to chat to you, man. Good to chat to you.
Come on, overdue.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Just like you, I need to start this thing because I've been about and I just
you need to, man. You're everywhere. Like you put in work on TikTok. Just convert that to YouTube, man.
No, that's it. It's there, man. It's there. So like obviously the usual, the personal thing, Ryan_Kalako. People find me about. I'm that vocal Arsenal fan, And then RC footy chat. I got the mad thing going on at the minute. So I'm gonna try and do the thing. Like you'll catch me, and obviously hopefully I have another chat with you in it, so you can find me.
Come on, man. You're always welcome, man. I'm always open to talking to Arsenal fans and ones that can articulate their opinion, man. So yeah, man. Obviously, I'll chat to you. Definitely get you on the channel bare times, man. The door's always open. Yeah. And again, before we get out of here, I'm gonna big up the chat because again, you lot top form, smashing like buttons, all of that. Yeah. So follow Ryan's platforms, up the Gunners, man. Any last words?
No, that's it, man. Just respect. Follow me, hit me up, and yeah, make sure you're following Deluded. Make sure and just keep
appreciate
following,
that.
Man.
Come on, you Gunners.
And I hate saying this as well. Like, but a lot of us, just like you said, a lot of Arsenal fans as well. A lot of platforms they don't really articulate or break things down. You do.
It's reactionary rage bait.
I know. It's like, look, this is a problem, but yeah, let's talk about why it's a problem and how we can salute. Don't just say, oh, now we got to do this. No. Like, let's talk about it. And I respect you for that because you've always done that. You've done it on AFTV back in the day.
Fair times.
Yeah, hopefully I see you, man. I'll see you again.
It's nice that people remember that, Appreciate you for that.
I don't forget things, and you can't with this fan base as well, like that. So
you kill me, but yeah, man. Big up Ryan. Big up the chat. We're out, folks, man. Ryan, bless up, man. In a bit, my boy.
Cool.
Safe.
Always